The Bills are $43 million over the cap in effective cap space. So they are really up against it and are going to have to make some serious moves, such as restructuring, extending, and releasing players outright as well to become cap compliant. And throughout this video, we're going to get the Bills not only just under the cap, but under the cap enough to make a small addition as well that should hopefully help the team this year and for years to come as well. To start out with the restructuring, one move that they're going to have to do is to restructure Josh Allen, which will create $22 million in cap space for them this year. After that, they should extend Teron Johnson, who is their elite nickel corner, which will create another $4.4 million. And after that, they should extend Deion Dawkins, which will create another $6.8 million, which between all of those moves right there, that's $33.2 million. And that's pretty close to being cap compliant right there, but we're not stopping just yet. There are also some releases that they can make to free up even more money. What they need to do is release Tre'Davious White. And that might not be the most popular opinion because White has really shown flashes throughout the years as an elite corner his rookie year and as a solid corner throughout his career as well. But White is making $6.1 million this upcoming season, I should say, and he basically didn't play at all this year. The year before that, he was 81 out of 118 corners last year, according to PFF grades, which means he's fallen off quite a bit. And what makes it even more of a necessity to cut White is the fact that Rasul Douglas, Christian Benford, and Teron Johnson have all had higher PFF grades this very year than White has had in all of the 2020s so far. So they have a ton of talent in the cornerback room, and it doesn't really make sense to risk it with White because he just is an unknown at this point. It's unknown if he's going to be healthy, and it's unknown if he's going to be as good as he once was as well. Another player that they should get rid of is Deontay Hardy, who is making $4.1 million, and as a receiver gave 150 yards and 10 yards per reception, which are both basically running back numbers, and really not even the greatest receiving running back numbers to boot. So in saying that, he's basically an overpriced special teamer at this point. He showed promise as a wide receiver in 2021 with the Saints, but he really hasn't been the same since then. It'll be hard with Diggs, Shakir, and the free agent signing I have the Bills making at the end of this video for Hardy to see any real meaningful playing time. So I think getting rid of Hardy and his $4.1 million salary makes a ton of sense. Another player that should be cut too is Nyheim Hines, who's making $4.7 million. And that's for a guy that didn't play this year and was just all right last year as a receiving back / returner. With Buffalo being up against the cap as much as they are, they're going to have to get rid of guys that still might have some value to add to the team. And that's what Hines is, because he is a legitimate receiving back and he can do some stuff as a special teamer as well. But it's much more important to have a well-rounded roster than it is to have good special teams. And with Hines making $4.7 million, it's going to be hard to have that really nice established team. To round out the offseason for the Bills in this video as well, I think the Bills should go after Cedric Wilson because he's only projected to make about $2.5 million. And for a capable wide receiver 3 that's able to play at least 62% of his snaps outside, allowing Khalil Shakir to stay in the slot, that's a really good deal. When Wilson was featured in the offense in Dallas, he totaled 600 yards in 16 games as the third or fourth option in Dallas in 2021. Since then, he's been stuck behind the best wide receiver duo in the league in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, so his production has gone down, but he still has it within him to be a productive wide receiver 3, and really, he would be a fourth or fifth option in Buffalo, so he doesn't need to be as good as he once was even. He just needs to be a solid outside receiver, and that's exactly what he is. So after all of the restructuring, extensions, releases, and signing for the Bills, they're about $2.5 million under the cap. And really, that's about as good as you'll see for the Bills because They don't have very much cap, and they have so many good players. It's hard to get rid of anybody, and instead they're just going to have to make these shrewd moves that clear up a little bit at a time and might get rid of players that you would otherwise like to keep, but just aren't able to afford at this point. Those are my thoughts on the Bills and what they should do. Be sure to let me know what yours are in the comment section below, and also be sure to like and subscribe for more NFL content.